Hey, what's up? What's up, man? I'm still doing stuff.
You still doing
I'm
stuff.
still doing stuff,
Now
man.
y'all know Eric has not been live in a while, so he's trying to regroup y'all. Uh-uh. And just like I said, Eric has not been live in a while, and he's had to regroup. And it looks like we have lost him. Okay, let me bring him back.
Okay,
There you go.
okay,
All right, we lost you for a minute.
okay. Yeah, I'm finna send this. I'm finna send this out. Nope, I'm not because they asking for too much.
That's too much.
They asking for too much. They yeah,
You're not as fast as you used to be.
man. I don't know if I ever was that fast. Hey, but you know what? It's good to be here. How you feeling?
Good, good. Hi, everybody in the tribe. Now, if you want to come on with us, feel free to. I put the link in the group so you can join us also. But it's gonna be juicy. It's gonna be juicy tonight. Me and Eric
Yes, I
we were
agree.
already talking.
Right.
We started talking yesterday, and we was like, okay, we got to stop this conversation and continue it tomorrow.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was that good. It was
Yes,
that
it's
good.
always that good. Always that
Okay.
good.
I think I got it. I think I got it. I think what's up, Tony? I think I
We
got it. Yeah, I am. I saw I'm on my platform.
okay.
Don't ask me how I did it, but I did it.
Okay. Well, we won't worry about that. It's just done.
It's done. It's done, and I feel good. Man, I had you were saying it's been a while. Man, it's been a long while, and I feel like I've been in retirement. But and I said if I was gonna come out of retirement, then this would be the right way to do
Oh yeah.
it.
Oh yeah. And the fact that we have reached 300 members today.
Wow! Yes, yes, yes. Man, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is
So the
awesome.
tribe is 300 strong and growing.
Man, that's a big deal. That's a
Yeah.
big deal. So
Pretty cool.
yeah, so I mean, listen to we in February, and
We're in February. This the
and
love month.
the love month, and you put the vision out, and started out this year strong, um you had Trevay
Yes.
in January last when was it? January, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
January.
in January. Yeah, so she kick started this thing out.
Oh
uh,
yeah.
I can't.
As she
Let me see.
does.
Okay, I think I got the comments now. Okay, man, I feel so brand new.
Well, you looking and acting brand new.
Yeah, I'm like, I said, man, I said I can't see comments, and I'm like, well, all I had to do is click on the button, and I can see them.
Yeah, it says comments.
It
It
says
says
comments.
comments. But y'all, if y'all
Man,
want to join, feel free. The link is actually in the you know what, I could put in the chat as well
and
for
Tony,
you all.
you might as well click on that link because yeah, you need to come on in here. Come
I
on
know
in
that's
here.
right.
Come on in here.
And
Um,
I had to define love. I had to,
mm,
I'm a definition person.
okay.
So I had to look up love, and
Wow.
I found a very fascinating definition. And of course, it describes it as being complex and multifaceted,
Mm-hmm.
but it encompasses feelings of deep affection, attachment, compassion, and care towards someone or something. Love can be romantic, platonic, or even extend to pets, hobbies, or ideas. Of course, we know that
Right.
because
Okay.
we not only love people, but we love things as well. And it says psychologically, love involves a combination of cognitive, emotional, and behavioral components. So it entails a strong bond. This is what I want you all to get: a strong bond or connection with another person, categorized by trust, intimacy, and mutual understanding. I thought that was really good because in the chat yesterday, when I asked the question about love, my sister-in-law, Nicole, she mentioned mutual understanding. And I thought that was really good because a lot of people, they don't look at it as being mutual because the way I receive love, the way you receive love is completely different.
Right. Yeah.
But love can bring joy, fulfillment, and a sense of purpose to people's lives. But it can also involve challenges, vulnerability, and sacrifice. And we definitely gonna talk about the challenges that love um, brings. So, what do you think about that definition?
You know, so when you first said definition, my mind went to, man, it's so big. You know what I'm saying? How can you
Yeah.
really, how can you really define it? You know what I'm saying? Because as good as your definition is, it still can go deeper. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It can go deeper. And here's the thing. I think it's got to be a universal, definition. I mean, but how about that specific? You know what I'm saying? How
Mhm.
about well, Eric, what does it mean to you?
Yeah.
So my mind would be, you know, do I discount what love means to me
Mm-mm.
because because there is a definition, or do I say, you know what, I understand what Webster says about love, but this is love for me. This is what it means to me.
Right. Right.
Somebody could say love is, waking up, in the morning, drinking a cup of coffee. You know
Yeah.
what? I mean, man, I think you got to roll with that. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
I mean, because the definition said it's also an ideal, so that's something that you can fall in love with, or you
Absolutely.
can have love for. And someone, and of course, this is someone from Facebook, so um I cannot see the names, but I think this is a really good definition that I should bring out. Actually, they wrote a book. Actually, well, you know what? It's two of them. Let's see. Love is a verb. A
Mm,
sense. The sense is probably to be prompt, free willing, from leaning, advise, or advancing, or drawn forward. In a general sense, to be pleased with, to regard with affection on account of some qualities, while excite pleasing sensations or desire or gratification. We love a friend on account of some qualities which give us pleasure in this society. We love a man who has done us a favor, in which case gratitude enters into, I think it's going on. I think it cut off. Hey
mm.
Delvin. Oh, okay, it's Delvin
What's
that's
up,
giving the
David?
definitions. That's Pastor Delvin, excuse me. We gotta put some respect on his name.
Absolutely. You can't do him
Um,
like that.
that's right. So love being a noun is an affection of the mind excited by beauty or worth of any kind, or by the qualities of an object which communicate pleasure, sensual or intellectual. Oh yeah, intellectual.
Absolutely.
um, I think a lot of people, they don't think about that part of what love can do for you as far as your mind and how it
Right.
stimulates your mind. It is opposed to hatred. Love between the sexes is a compound affection consisting of esteem, um, benevolence. We hear that in church, and animal desire. we didn't know that love was associated with that benevolence was associated with love in church. When we talk about the benevolent offering, love is excited by pleasing qualities of any kind or by kindness, benevolence, charity, or by the qualities which render social intercourse agreeable. Those are really good definitions. Really, really good definitions. So love is a verb and a noun. What you think,
I
Eric?
mean, and I mean, just think, that it can it can totally hold its own as a verb,
Yeah,
showing your action, and it can totally hold its own by being a noun. It is what it is,
yeah,
and I think it kind of just really speaks to how powerful it is, but it also has to deal with why we struggle with it as well.
yes.
You
I
know
was
what I'm
thinking
saying?
about that. And we
I,
all struggle with love.
yeah, and this and that's why we here, because we got to figure out what love got to do with this thing, because
Yes.
I mean, because even if we use that as the foundation, just dealing with the fact that love is a verb, love is a noun, because my mind goes to what if you're involved with somebody who sees love as a noun,
Mm-hmm.
okay, but you see it as a verb.
The verb. Yeah.
Automatically, y'all at conflict,
Yeah.
because you see it, and this is why I deal so deep with it, because you both can be right,
Mm-hmm.
but your relationship still won't work.
Right. Right.
Isn't that something?
Yeah.
You both
Yeah.
could be right, and I
Yeah.
and I think that we, I mean, listen, this is February. This is the love month, and so
Mm-hmm.
and so yeah, we got it. We're gonna deal with this thing, and so so the topic is what love got to do with it. And then I want to throw this other question out now, Tony, Devin. I want you guys to look at this. I mean, because when I was thinking about this thing, and I thought about this question, and the question is, what do you do when you don't feel love? What do you do
Mm,
now? You're in a committed relationship. I mean,
mm.
you this is husband and wife, and 'cause I got to lay the groundwork for you. Husband and wife, man, y'all been married for 10 years, but what do you do when you don't feel love? What do you do? So let's marinate on that. Let's
Mm.
marinate on that. Did you just type that?
I
See,
did.
and
Mhm.
see, I
I'm
can't
good
do
like
that,
that.
man. I
Yeah.
want to be able to do that. Man, I wish I could do that. Man.
Then you would be me. You would be me then.
Yeah, I'll be close to God. Yeah,
I'm glad you know now.
oh man, so yeah, that's an
And
eerie
you know
feeling.
what? That is such a good question because I mean, we, especially as women, we are fillers,
Hmm.
you know, and it can really go even to men who are empaths,
Right,
because when you are a filler, you always want to feel a certain way.
absolutely.
You want to feel whatever it is that um, whatever emotions that are associated with whatever action or that you want or expectation that you want.
Hmm.
Like, for example, I want to feel that my kids love me,
Right,
and they do that by their obedience.
right,
So, in a way, to me, love is a verb,
right,
because
right,
it's what you do.
right. Because right, right, and I think a lot of people is going to see it, as a verb, and
Mhm.
and and I'm not. I want to say, hey, Trevay, I want to say, I don't want to say it's a problem, okay, because I
Mhm.
want to develop this thing, but
Okay.
but when you look at it as when you look at it as a verb, are we mostly looking at it at what we can receive from it?
Mm.
You see what I'm saying? I mean, And
Mm-hmm.
because now you putting yourself in a situation where you're saying, okay, I feel love. I feel most love when you do this um, to me or for me, because
Mm-hmm.
that is that because love is a verb to you. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so now there's the other side of the story is you're constantly doing too,
Right.
because love is so you're constantly doing, and because you're saying love is a verb, so I'm constantly giving, I'm constantly doing.
Mm-hmm.
But what if you're doing it for somebody who says love is a noun? They're not going to receive it the same way,
Right.
and so you say, Eric, what do you see? I think the conversation is important, because as something as little as asking your potential mate, you know, um, man, do you see love as a verb, or do you see love as a noun? Read that
Mm-hmm.
again if you don't mind. What Delvin, Pastor said
I
about
surely
the.
will. I
Yeah,
surely
I
will.
want to make sure. I want to make sure that that I'm getting this right. That was some good stuff.
It
Trevay
was, and
said,
Gervais, she mentioned that the first one she said was that unfortunately that's a reality many couples face. And she said, I reflect on why I choose my spouse in the first place and start finding things I do like about him. I also look at it as a commitment to show up fully even when I don't feel the love.
see,
Yeah,
see,
that's important.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
And then Tony
Trevay,
mentioned that
Trevay.
he focuses on doing his part.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
So let's see here. Uh, as far as it being a noun,
and
and
y'all don't let me expound on that question before we get off, because I want to hear other people's feelings on that question, but don't let me
definitely.
forget. Okay.
Um, an affection of the mind, excited by beauty and worth of any kind, or by the qualities of the object, which communicate pleasure, sensual, or intellectual.
Hmm. Okay,
So
stop there.
just thinking about that.
Yeah, so right there, man, that says it all. Because see, and this is what I wanted to make sure that we get. See, when you look at a noun, say I'm a noun person, and so
Hmm.
I'm like, love is just what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right.
When you don't have to do anything, because
Hmm.
because it is what it is.
Right.
I am the great I am. I am who I am. So,
Hmm.
and
Hmm.
uh, and that can really stand on its own.
Right.
But it's, so when and let me kind of bring it down, just bring it down a little bit. Okay. um when you look at your relationship with your kids, you're going to be on the noun side of love.
Right. Right.
Because man, my kids ain't got to do anything for me. I know you're different. Okay, you're different. Your kids got to perform for you.
Well, they don't have to. They,
But everybody else don't
they
put
don't
that
have
type of
to. We were
stipulation on
talking
their
about
kids.
feeling. I was talking about feeling.
It didn't come off that way. It came out. It came off.
But
I
but
need.
love, if you think about it, in love, in the aspect that love is a noun, that's more of an unconditional.
Yes, that's yes,
And
yes.
the love as a verb is more conditional.
It's more because I have to
Do
perform for
something.
you. I got to do
Right.
something for you, and
Right.
and we need both in our life.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, we need both. We need the balance. We need the noun and we need the verb, because
Right.
it's kind of like saying, faith without works is dead. You can
Right.
love me all you want, but you love me enough to take me out to eat. Love me enough to to see about me. Love me enough. to show me some affection,
Right.
because I can tell you, I can be on the noun side all I want,
Right.
but the balance of it is I gotta be able to express it. I gotta be,
Right.
because love makes you want to do some things. I
Right.
mean,
Right.
and
It should make you
it
want to do
should make you
something.
want to do some things. You know what I'm saying?
Express.
But at the same time, love really should stand on its own.
Mhm.
I believe that, and man, I wasn't planning on going this way, but I got to bring it up because it came in my spirit. I believe that a lot of divorces is because one, and I'm gonna say typically a man is 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 in that noun side of love, and
Mm.
then his counterpart is on this verb side of love, and they had
Mm.
conflict. And what I really want you guys to understand is that neither one is wrong. Okay, and
Mhm.
this is why we have a lot of men, and when you talk to them and they being honest, they're gonna tell you that I love her, but yet and still
Right.
that marriage did not work.
And
And
then the woman is gonna say, "But he didn't show me
and she
that
she's
he loved me."
she's gonna say there's no way in the world he loved me.
Right. And it's based upon what he did or didn't do.
Thank you. Exactly. It's based off of what he did or did not do. Okay, you want to read that? I'm gonna change my background. Yours, we looking, we looked in at looking at odds.
Yeah. Pastor Delvin, he said, even though love ain't just a feeling, action presence will cause generate feelings. Yes.
Yeah, it would call
Yes. And
it would
that's what you were saying earlier.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and so
Yeah.
I when I explore love, when I studied it, and I got my biggest revelation on love. I always tell people, that love has two elements. When you want to experience love, you want to know what love is. And I know we got the fancy definitions, but this is what I always say. Listen, y'all been following me. I keep it real simple. I say love gonna do two things. Love is always gonna accept you as you are, and love is always gonna seek to give to you. That's it.
Hmm.
It's always
Hmm.
they always gonna accept you. I mean, because you know, no matter how tall you are, how short you are, how skinny or how fat, how I mean, short hair, long hair, don't care. However you come into that person's life, they're gonna say, you know what? When I met you, I thought you were perfect, just
Right.
flaws and all.
Right.
Okay, flaws and all.
Hmm.
And then love does not concern themselves with what they're gonna receive.
Right.
Oh man, when you in a relationship where and I'm gonna tell you how it really plays out. It's gonna play out like when you really know somebody loves you. I mean,
Hmm.
you're gonna recognize that they always seeking to give to you. They want nothing in return. It's a genuine place. Now
Right.
I know people can say, want to say, well, it's it could be manipulative, it could be controlling, and blah blah blah. But no, don't go there yet. I'm just talking about the purest form of love. Always wants to give. They do
Hmm.
not concern themselves with what they want, what they're going to get in return. But what do you get in return? Man, if you're a smart person, and you find somebody that that is truly given to you, you're
Hmm.
gonna be uncomfortable in your skin not to
Hmm.
return that, not to reciprocate that.
Right. Right.
You know
But
why
what
you got?
happens? I mean, but that happens though. It happens because I think if relationships were more like that, then we wouldn't have breakups, we wouldn't have divorces, because everyone will be giving to each other and wanting to give and not expecting anything in return, but both people will be doing it. So it's almost like they'll
All
be out
right.
trying to outdo each other.
Yeah, yeah. See, because see, I believe what happened is now I'm saying it, but to be honest, I know the answer. The answer is selfishness. Because
Right.
because
Hmm.
this is what we're finding is that people are giving and they are really expecting something in return.
Oh
You know
yeah.
that
I mean,
that
we
right
date
right
like
up.
that. We date like that.
Oh yeah, now they now listen. I mean I see things in these levels. So
Yeah.
I mean, but we're talking about marriage. Now dating,
We could
you
talk
know
about marriage. We could talk about dating. We could talk about
you
everything.
because see when in the dating realm to me there's no rules. Now this is what I say, Tiffany, and listen. I'm like this. Um, when you're dating or not and non-committed, then um, there's no rules. Be as selfish as you like. And matter of fact, I encourage and I'll go ahead and plug my book, The Power of Dating. Since you pushed me into that ring, I said I didn't want to deal with dating,
Oh
but
yeah. Mhm.
but since you forced me to,
But
so
I mean, if you think about it, you so funny. But if you think about it, you have to be dating first in order to get to love. Because
right,
you don't fall into love, even though people that's what people say.
right,
But
yeah.
I mean, so what do you mean? I mean,
Either
how
you married or
long?
you single.
Thank you
And
sound
listen.
like Eric on that. Eric
Well,
said,
is it a man thing? Now, what I'm saying is this. See, what now I understand that there is levels to dating. You will come to a point where you're saying, okay, we're dating and where we're committed. Because at that point, you're not dating anymore. Because dating is deciding if you want to get committed with that person. Okay, so
right,
now once you committed, you're literally out of the dating category. Okay. So, but while you in the dating category, then it's okay for you to be selfish. Why? Because you're one, I don't know how this thing is going to go. So I'm not going to be giving everything to something that really not would devastate that ROI and my rate of investment may not yield too good.
right.
I'm keeping myself in a place where I'm saying, um, okay, yeah, at this point right here, it's all about me. It's all about me, and I suggest him and I suggest her to be all about themselves when they're in that level, when they're in that getting to know you. Because here's the
Mhm.
thing: what if I give you everything that I have to offer during the getting to know stage, but we haven't been committed? You know how many you, well, let me just go back. The reason why I developed that is because I see what the effects of
Mhm.
giving too much early on in a relationship, and then
Mhm.
it does not go because you didn't get committed. Now all of a
Mhm.
sudden, now you're where you used to be a good value. You had value.
Mhm.
You that years or going through bad breakups, and now all of a sudden, your you have your value have lessened
Mhm.
because it destroyed who you are because the
So is it
hurt and
your
the pain.
value? Is it your value to the
Probably
person,
no, the
or is
person.
it or is it the value overall to yourself? How does that come
That
into
was
play?
what I'll put it in. I'll kind of just bring it down in
Okay.
in real life. You're going to
Okay.
go to your next relationship,
Mhm.
okay, and you're going to have baggage
Right.
from the
Mhm.
hurt that you had because you gave too much to something that you was not committed to. Okay,
Mhm.
and
Or what if you were committed? will you still have baggage?
You know what?
Because
I believe this. I believe if you both was in a committed, y'all was committed, and that relationship did not work, I think you should be able to walk away from that thing with your head up high and saying, you know what, I gave exactly what I wanted to give, and I feel
mhm,
no shame. I feel nothing. Whatever. Listen, and write this down. Don't ever give anything to a relationship to where if that relationship was to go bad, you would want it back. Okay. If you
yeah,
live by that motto, there's no way you can be hurt. Because whatever I gave to you, we're committed now. So now I'm giving to you. I don't care. I don't care if it's money. I don't care if it's your body. Whatever you give, you freely gave it. You was in a committed relationship. It didn't work, and but you did not have a motive. See, this is what happened. Okay, the only reason I gave you this money is because I thought we was gonna be together. Man, you shouldn't have gave it. You see what
mhm,
I'm saying? The only reason I gave you my body is because I thought we was gonna be together. No, you don't do that, sweetheart. You don't do it. You know, you can give everything that you anything that you want to give, but just understand you giving it freely. And if that relationship was to end, you okay with that because nobody made you do anything, and I
yeah,
freely gave it to you. That's why I say
yeah,
it switches. You know? It switches when you get be selfish, but then it switch. What love
yeah.
got to
But how do you know when? I mean, because it's hard to know, especially because like somebody like me, I go all in.
Yeah. Okay. Keep going. I'm listening.
So if I go, if I'm that type of person that go all in,
Hmm.
it's either 100 or zero. you
Okay.
know. So if you go all in, and now you the relationship guy, so you the expert in relationships.
Okay. I feel like I'm
So
being set up, but keep going. Keep going.
so if I'm going all in with the um and I feel like I have a balance of the verb and of love as the verb and the noun. I'm not
Hmm.
necessarily expecting anything in return, but
Okay.
I'm giving all in. But
Right.
it still doesn't work out.
Okay.
But
Okay.
but I'm hurt. I'm still hurt by it
Yeah. Why you hurt though? Why are you
because
hurt?
because I gave it all.
Yeah, but the
But shouldn't they
failure.
have some type of reward of not necessarily the the person giving something in return, but the reward of it working out?
Right. But maybe it did work out. Maybe the breakup. See, what you have to understand is that um when you make that commitment, it is a lifelong commitment. Okay. And you have to understand that sometimes we just did not fit. We thought we did, but
Hmm.
some type of way it was a shift. Now, this is the only thing I'm saying, that at some point you have to accept it and be glad about it, because you know do you want to get find out 10, 20, 30 years down the line, that this person is gonna, what, I really was never really committed to you. I really did, but I just did it because, I mean, whatever he or she say, what I'm saying, I mean, hey, tell me up front. I
Yeah,
mean, we gave it a try, and I'm okay with that, because because I mean, we should be able to deal with some type of honesty about that.
yeah,
And when that happens, and I know it hurts, but if you really start looking at this thing, you should be able to say, you know what, but I'm glad that I'll rather him do it or her do it now than to do it later, and knowing that they weren't really ready to give me 100%.
yeah.
Has
And I,
nothing to do
I,
with your
I
hundred
can
percent.
definitely see. I could definitely see how being selfish in the dating process early on can be an advantage
Oh,
because you're
yes.
putting out everything. You're and I mean you're being yourself for the most part.
So you remember that post that was going on. I know you gave you commented, and I told you I understand your comment, but it was that post about um God, the lady that so they was on the date, and the lady was on her phone. She was a lawyer or whatever, and
Oh
she
yes.
took the phone call, and I handed that thing the perfect date.
Oh,
Okay, and
and you know what? Oh, and that
yeah,
goes right into this question right
am I
here that
triggering
someone
you now?
asked. Huh?
Am I
No, no,
triggering
you're
you?
not triggering me. You're not triggering me. But it goes right into what this question is right
Okay.
here. What do you believe the difference is between respect and love?
Mm,
Because on that date, I thought she was being disrespectful.
okay.
And some people in the comments said that he was being disrespectful based upon how he reacted
Okay.
to her.
Yeah.
Do you want to tell everybody what the video was about? Just in case they didn't see it.
Okay, so the video was about now a first date. You had a man that drove. He drove some hours, I believe, to this date. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
he gets to the date. His the lady had to deal with a business call. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
and so now it's I'm gonna just say like 45 minutes into the date, and she gets off the phone, and now he's saying, "Hey, your phone call was more important than the date. I feel disrespected, so I'm gonna end this date." Now her thing was, okay, hey, now that my phone call is over, now let's start this date. And his thing was, no, the date started when we first met in the parking lot. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so so I mean, did I may have missed some things. I know I paraphrased some things, but that was the gist of this video. Now I tagged this thing the perfect date, and a lot of people wanted to know why, and I said because they both was true to who they are. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
I see he's seen who she really is. She is a person that will put business first. Then say,
Right.
and you know what? If somebody there's a man out there that will understand that, and it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing?
Man, I'm doing great. Doing great.
It took me a minute to get my stream yard back set up to bed going. I've been using Restream, but continue with your flow. I'll
All
chime
right.
in.
What's up, Delvin?
Hey, baby,
Delvin,
how you
what's up,
doing
man?
this evening?
All right, man. Hey, listen, that was that thing that I don't know if you caught that. I don't know if you seen the video, but like I said, I said it was the perfect date because, um, you know, they what happened was what dating was all about. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
hey, let me see who you are. So he realized that I don't want to move forward with somebody that will prioritize business over relationship. And she says, hey, if you can't understand that hey, I'm a lawyer, my business is important to me, then there's no need for us to go any further, man. And I was perfectly okay with that. Now, can we deal with the disrespect part? Of course, I can say that she was disrespectful because she could have respected the fact that he drove hours. She could have respected the fact to not answer her phone, call while he was there. She could have done all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would have rather her be true and upfront than, and now all of a sudden they get committed, and now she's still taking phone calls. You see
Wow.
what I'm saying? Could you imagine that now? I'm glad they ended it. Go
I,
ahead, Dale.
I can't imagine nothing like that.
Me neither.
I
Because
mean,
to me, I thought it was disrespectful. I think she could have handled it a little bit better. She could have said, one moment, to the person that was on the phone and let him know, hey, do you mind if I take this real quick? It's work. you know, and as soon as I finish, I'll get back to our date. But apparently she didn't do anything like that.
No, she
Because
did.
he did not receive it well.
And I'm on the back end because I missed what a video y'all showed trying to get my stream audience. But I saw the post that you had on there. The comments you had on the screen saying it said something to the effect like, "What's the difference between love and respect to you?" That's what y'all responding to now.
Uh-huh.
Right.
If I can chime in and I don't want to make this a respect show if it's about what love got to do with it, but if you look at the different kind of cars we got now, we got electric cars, we got cars that run on propane, we got cars that run on diesel, we got cars that run on unleaded, we got cars that won't run on nothing but 93. So I'm saying it to say that women, their gasoline is love. Period. And that's the way God designed them. Now, like you said earlier, when I sent those definitions about noun and verb, some women might run on what was defined as noun love. Some women might run on what was defined as verb love. Now we're going to talk about the other six because as far as I understand from God, ain't but two of them, male and female. And the male's gasoline is respect.
Absolutely.
You can be the finest lady in the world. If you give a man utter disrespect, it's like removing oxygen from his lungs. Nothing you do can make it no better. You can be the lawyer and then take the call, but decide to spend, I don't know, $1 million on him that year, just showering him in gifts. I ain't trying to talk about no type of million or nothing, but the average man, he don't care about no junk like that.
Right.
He work, he get his own money. The gift is a cherry on top. The gift is a cherry on top. It ain't the Sunday. The Sunday would be respect.
Right.
And the gifts would be the cherry on top of that Sunday. And you cannot in no way, shape, form, or fashion think that you can exchange gifts, acts of love in replace of not showing that man respect. And I'm speaking specifically to husband and wives right now. You know what I'm saying? So if we were doing an algebra equation, I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna chime out. If we're doing an algebra equation, you have an equal sign in the middle, and you have a product on this side and a question on this side, and either way go, they already equal. But whatever you do something on the left side, you got to do something on the right hand side. Well, we made that left hand side the woman, and that's her answer, love. And we made this right hand side the man, and that's his answer, respect. The only way you're gonna be able to get that balance that everybody like to talk about, it's got to be balanced. I work in a mechanic shop at the job, and if we got a tire that's wobbling, you got to take that boy off and put it on the balance machine to get it right.
Right.
So you have to put weights on the front, weights on the back.
Right.
But anyway, in order to have that thing balanced, you have to have that same amount of respect going to that man that what he needs, as well as that same amount of love going to that woman as what she needs.
Absolutely.
Now, a man can want love and a woman can want respect, but we all know, especially adults, we all know it's a difference between wants and needs. Like I want some chocolate ice cream right now, but I don't need none.
Right. And I'm gonna take it a step further. When now you use the phrase, you say it's like taking oxygen. So let's say that it's like the air that he breathes. The man need respect just like he needs air.
That's right.
The woman needs love just like she needs air.
That's correct.
She needs to be shown that. Now, but here's the next level. When you cut off my airflow, when you cut off my airflow, when you don't give me respect, I cut off your love.
That happens. It's petty, but it happens.
Oh yeah, yeah. When you don't if you don't give that woman her love, she's finna cut off your respect.
Correct.
You see, yeah. This is real life. You
Big
see,
boy stuff.
this big boy stuff, and it's played out. It's played out. If we be honest, and I know it's at a. I mean, like you said, this big boy stuff. But the average person, that's that balance we talk about. Because you hurt me, okay? You disrespected me. Oh no, there's no way I can love you. There's no way I can love you because you took away the one thing that I needed to survive. And we using the word air because without that oxygen, I will die. I will literally die. But the same thing, without love, you would literally die. That's why that women is filing for a divorce because she don't feel love. She don't that feeling. I don't feel it. There's no way that you love me. And it's played out over and over and over again.
Yeah, and I think we have and I guess that's why it's a constant disconnect between the two of us, because we're trying to get you all to love us, and you all are trying to get us to respect you. And I think the more we understand, okay, what does love look like to you? And to not necessarily look at what other people are doing in their relationships, because we do that a lot. But what is it, you, my husband, you, my man, what does it respect look like to you?
Yeah.
What is it that I can do or that I do now that make you feel respected? Then that way I can continue to do that.
Right.
Because if I don't know, or if I don't know what not to do, then I will do what you don't like me to do. And then that's when communication come in at too. We don't do very well with communicating. We just might get upset and say, well, he didn't do that. He should know to do that. He should know that I need this because that makes me feel loved. But if I don't communicate to him to say, okay, I don't like that. I don't like it when you said that. That does not make me feel good. That hurts my feelings. Then there's a constant divide between us.
There's a divide, but I believe, and this is just my opinion, when you and I gotta go spiritual with this.
Come on.
There's no other way I can explain it. But when you are walking in the spirit, then that's not a hard thing to do. It's not hard. I think when that disconnect comes, that's when we are starting to yield to our flesh.
Okay.
Because our flesh is selfish, and we all and it only thinks about what it can. I need you to give to me. Remember the two elements of love. Love is going to accept you as you are, and love is always going to seek to give. You know what I'm saying? So once you get out of that, you're gonna be selfish. So you say, well, and I understand the communicating part. You know what I'm saying? But when I know you by the Spirit, and I have accepted the fact that I love you in spite of, and you don't have to do anything because I made a choice to love you. I choose to love you. And see, somebody said, man, love is conditional, and I'm just foolish enough to just believe that love is still unconditional.
That's right.
I'm foolish enough, and I'm okay with that. And you can call me whatever you want to call me, but I believe that. But I believe that most people have not seen that because they have not. Or when most people say that there is no such thing as unconditional love, that's only because they have not walked in the Spirit. They have, So in the flesh, yes, ma'am, I do agree with you, because there's nothing about your flesh that's going to speak to unconditional love. So if that's the only thing that you're pulling from, then yeah, you are correct. But if you ever had a chance,
Come on.
if you ever had a chance to experience that real love, then yeah, you understand. You
Yeah.
understand.
I was, let me say this. Do you know there's only one place in the whole Bible that says anything about a wife loving a husband?
Mm.
From Genesis to Revelation, there is only one mention in the whole Bible that says anything about a wife loving a husband. It's in Titus chapter 2, verse 3 through 5, and it mentions it like this right here, that the older women likewise teach the younger women to love their husband, to be keepers at home and to love their
Come
children.
on.
And when it says that, when I hear the older women likewise teach the younger women, it sounds like it's something that's just not natural. It's just not something that just comes just on its own. It's something that has to be taught. It has to be exampled. It has to be shown. So let's say a mother and a grandmother learn how to love their husband, and then the granddaughter gets to see the mama's action, gets to see the grandmother's action, and gets to see how it looks. But it's not nothing that happens automatically. Like you mentioned earlier, Miss Tiffany, about we say we fall in love, but we don't fall in love. It end up growing. So what happens is the man, going back to the dating phase, the man see the girl. We'll use Jacob for example. Jacob saw that girl at that well, and she was too fine. Jacob said, I got to have her. You got to be mine. Jacob went up and snuck him some of that sugar. And the sugar was so sweet, the Bible said it made him cry.
Mm.
Now, my wife got some good sugar, but it ain't made me cry yet. You know, I don't know what Rachel did. I don't know what Rachel
Well, you
did
need
on
to ask her why. You need to
huh?
ask her why.
I don't know what Rachel did to that sugar to Jacob, and he loved her from that moment forward. So much that he went to her dad and said, I will work for your daughter Rachel for 7 years. Now, I don't know how she felt about him. He might have been handsome, he might have been strong or whatever. But during that time of him working for her those 7 years, she gained an admiration, a honor, a respect, a willingness to be able to submit toward him. And that caused
That's
their
good teaching.
relationship to grow. Say what?
That's good
Say what?
teaching.
Yeah. And that caused their relationship to grow. Now, whenever that thing gets unbalanced to the point, and nowadays, the word submit is just a cuss word.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's a cuss word in the world, and it's now a cuss word even in the church. I
Yes.
saw a post the other day said, this ain't the 1950s no more. I
Yeah.
talked to a friend today. She's a great girl. She's like an encouragement coach herself. She might be on here tonight. I sent her a link. But when we were describing something, she used the term dictator, and I said, "Whoa. When you say the word dictator, the first thing I think about is Hitler, a evil man, and that's not what submission to your husband is. That's
Right.
not what obeying, respecting, or honoring your husband is. And if it looks like that, totally, totally, totally out of
Please
order.
don't say obey. Please don't
Huh?
say obey.
Is that why you choking? Is that why you over there choking? Drink some more water.
No, you using the wrong words.
But see, those buzzwords.
Right.
But
Right.
Right,
but
right.
they were extracted from the Bible, be put in a place what we use called marriage or wedding vows for that purpose. And it shows, I'm about to tell another word, it shows the roles in marriage. A man has a role, a woman has a role. Now, of course, in every relationship, there's gonna be some variations, but the overarching theme is this is what the man does, and this is what the woman does. And for some reason, like you mentioned about unconditional love earlier, Eric, for some reason, God believed that it worked that way. For some reason, I don't know who tricked God and made him think that he know what he's talking about. Everybody else must know. But for some reason, God believes that if that man loves that wife the same way that Christ loved the church, wouldn't have laid down his life for himself, wouldn't have love her like he loved his own flesh, that she would be willing to submit to him in all things according to the mouths of the Lord. And that causes a it just causes something that God described and he compared it to Christ in the church. So the same way that Christ has authority of the church and will not use his authority to bring the church into harm, is the same authority that God gave to the man for his wife. And that man will not bring that wife to harm. Now, this is the funny part here. The church don't always submit to Christ.
Right.
Right.
And the wife don't always submit to the husband.
Mhm.
And I've been working on this, so don't write this down. Do not write this down. I've been working on this.
Hey, Tiffany, better tell him I steal folks stuff.
Don't write it down because I'm still working on it now. The husband and wife authority relationship is the only example of authority where you don't have any weapon to enforce or to do something if the submission don't happen. Ain't no belt for you to whoop your wife and get away with it biblically. Ain't no handcuffs you can put to make her act right. See, right now, my wife punching me in my stomach now. You want to tell her, hey, or you don't want to be seen? But ain't nothing you can do. Now, for instance, you mentioned your children and you said something about them obeying. That's how they show their love. If you told them to do something and they didn't do it, you have some type of way to influence them to get on board. Men, husbands, I'm sorry, you don't have that. Right. you can't say, well, I tell you what, I'm gonna take the car. No, you can't do that.
Your weapon is love.
Huh?
And it's not necessarily a weapon, but your tool is love.
Right.
Even
just
when
like
you love
just like our tool is respect. Because I would imagine that, I mean, if you just love me so much, I mean, to where it's dripping off of me, your love. I know I'll respect you until it's dripping off of you. You know what I'm saying?
And that's the way God designed.
And I'm pretty sure that's what Christ, that's the example that Christ has for us.
Yeah.
Because just like you said, no matter, because we don't do everything right all the time.
Oh no.
But regardless, Christ died for us.
And still love us.
And he still loves us even now.
Absolutely.
So it's the same way we have to do. And you were, as y'all were talking, I was thinking about it's amazing just statistically how many women file for divorce.
Don't say that, because every time I say that, people tell me my number skewed.
Compared to women who file for divorce.
I think we're close to 80%, man.
And
I know it was 70% last year.
I know women say, oh, she wanted him. But
you pick me. Don't be a pick me now.
Yeah.
But if, okay, and I'm a black and white thinker. This, so the way I'm thinking about this, if you all are more in the noun category of love, and that you all are willing to just love us or be there, or just know love is love, so y'all just gonna be there. And if you are more in that noun category of love, then we wouldn't file for divorce, because no matter what happens, we will be there. Now, of course, I'm not talking about abuse.
Of course not. No.
All those other crazy stuff.
Right.
I'm talking about two people who are willing, who really care about each other, want the marriage to work, want the relationship to work, and willing to fight for it. That's what I'm talking about.
And see, that's why I asked that question. What do you do when you don't feel love? Because I know some people, some people are filing divorce because I don't feel loved anymore.
Right.
We
fell out of love.
We fell out of love. So I mean, the pastor already said you can't fall in love. So how you fall out of love? So what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do? I mean, because it's a real thing. Because and I hate to say it, but yes, it's gonna be skewed towards women because you guys are going to deal with the feeling part or the action, the verb part of love. You know,
Right.
you're gonna be like, well, I don't feel love. Why, you know? But if you in a marriage, if you in a marriage, you got a covenant.
Come on.
Okay, so what do you do? You know what I'm saying? What do you do? I mean, so you're telling me that I'm going to and keep in mind your covenant is not to your husband. Y'all do know that, right?
Come on now.
It's the
Your
God.
your covenant is to God. So you're gonna break your covenant to God because you don't feel like He loves me anymore. I don't feel like He loves me. So what are you
Mhm.
supposed to do? That's what
Well,
I want to know.
And we are talking about believers now. If you're not a believer, we're not
Yeah,
talking about you.
yeah.
so let me ask you this also, staying in that same lane. The famous phrase that's supposed to fix everything. They've been using this phrase before with such thing as a hashtag, but I'm gonna hashtag it. Hashtag happy wife, happy life.
Life.
Hmm.
And then sometimes it's not true. I'm not saying it's not true sometimes, but sometimes it's not true. I mean, it would seem as, and I'm getting that, I get that from people who speak that balance thing. So my thing with it probably be sound better if we said happy house, happy spouse.
Spouse. Right.
You know what I'm
Right.
saying? That puts it right down the middle. But
Mhm.
what it does is it gears everything toward that wife. And when I counsel and I look at Ephesians chapter 5, I tell them, I say, it says about three things in here for the wife to do. All these other verses in here for the husband to do. And I want you to just pause and think about that. And I'm not calling marriage a burden, but I want you to realize that the weight of all of this is on your shoulders.
Hmm.
You have the responsibility to be the leader, the head of this relationship. You have a responsibility to lead your wife to Christ. You have the responsibility to be the prophet, the priest, the provider, and the protector of this family. You have a responsibility to love her like Christ loved the church. And that's a great, great weight. If this thing works, praise the Lord, dude. You did good, brother. Now, y'all might not like this part here. If this thing don't, it's on you because you're the responsibility for it, man.
Absolutely.
You got to look at yourself again like Christ. How did Christ get us back? How did God get us back? In 2 Corinthians 5, it said, Christ reconciled the world to
Mhm.
himself.
Mhm.
Mhm.
So if something happened, it's a petition or a break or a divide or a separation, then bro, you got to figure out what you got to do to reconcile.
Mm.
Absolutely.
You got to figure out, and I ain't big on the love language book, but you got to figure out what her love language is to woo her back into the fold.
Right.
That's on you, brother.
Right.
If this don't work, that's on you, brother. If
Right.
that house get foreclosed, that's on you, brother. If that car get repoed, that's on you, brother. If it's cold outside and the cold get on the inside, that's on you, bro.
Right.
Mm.
Huh? You can't be
Yeah.
walking around with fresh to death Jordans and she ain't got a pocketbook to put the money in. I mean, come on.
Right. Now
So
that's real
men,
talk.
it's big boy
Yeah.
stuff. Men gotta grow up.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's definitely grown folks. And we ain't ready for that because we so interested in what is in it for us.
Oh
You know,
yeah.
what is it that you're not doing? What is it that I want? You know, and it goes back to selfishness.
Oh
You
yeah.
know, what Eric was talking earlier. We can't even get to that point of receiving love or receiving respect if we're not doing what we're supposed to do
Selfishness is
and
the
being
number
selfless.
one relationship killer.
Wow.
The number one relationship killer.
Wow.
You can give me any reason for the demise of your relationship, and I'll trace it back to somebody or both parties being selfish.
Wow. I can work with that 100% on that one too.
Man, she
Let,
typed that, boy. She is good.
Oh, I didn't. I'd end up deleting the.
let, let, me, let me ask you this right here. So have y'all talked to any divorced people lately, or I hate that word divorce, any dissolution of marriage people in y'all time of ministering, and they feel as though they made a mistake because it wasn't as green on the other side as they thought. Um,
Mm.
it could have been the person that got left or the person that decided to initiate, but they feel like it was a mistake. And that's what I run to a lot of now. You
Mm.
know what I'm saying? Um, Not quite as kept loud as possible. That's what I run to a lot of now because people put up with more drama at work than they will at home.
Yeah. Come on. Say that.
I mean, the boss don't say it the right way, but they still do it
Right.
And they had worked longer than they at home.
Right.
all day long.
Yeah.
And then like that lady on that date, they taking calls. They taking calls while they off work.
Right.
Mhm.
Right. Yeah. I mean, see, I think one of the things that I like to just point out, and I have been, um, I can't think of the word, maybe ridiculed, for this, but I talk about the necessity of the struggle,
Okay.
and so when I tell, see, I have to lay that foundation to say that the struggle is necessary, because I want people to understand when they come into that place that it's not it's not the end of the world. It's not something that's so
Yeah.
out of the norm to where we're arguing, so we must need a divorce, or we have a money problem, so we must get no. What I want people to understand is that the struggle is necessary. It builds character. Okay,
Mhm.
builds endurance, and um, so when and I see that when I looked at that word cleave, when and
Wow.
when it says cleave to his wife.
To his
See,
wife, bone and flesh.
what I realized, this is how I see it, Pastor. Okay, this is how I see it. That word cleave come from cleave, a butcher's knife, or something
Hmm.
that you cut flesh, with, and basically, I got to do it like this because I'm gonna show you how I do it in my class. You got the husband, you got the wife, y'all two separate, but
Hmm.
but the Bible says you're gonna become as one.
Hmm.
And at first, this is what you're doing. But God said, I'm going to take this cleaver out and I'm going to start cutting some things away from you. See, some things about you, Eric, that's not you good, but you're not quite right. So it's some
Okay.
things that I'm gonna have to get my cleaver out, and I'm gonna have to start cutting that thing, and then eventually, as God start doing His work, you're gonna become as one.
One.
Okay,
Okay.
but this is where we go. This is where marriages mess up at. See, you're thinking that is your spouse the reason why you feeling so bad. But God
Mhm.
is saying that I am working on you. That's why this is one thing that I knew. Because every time I went before, I said, God got to fix her. Man, you got to fix her. God always, but I'm working on you. To
Mm.
this day, God have never spoke to me concerning issues that I had with my wife
Come on.
or my ex now. Never. He always spoke to me about myself.
Mhm.
Because he said it was something about you that I needed to fix. And he kept that butcher knife, and he just kept cutting away, and what happens in relationship is that when and another way you can look at it, say, God said, I gotta prune you back, Tiffany.
Mhm.
I gotta prune. He said, because I need you to bear much fruit. It's some things that God got. He gonna take out them pruning shears, and He's gonna start cutting some things back from you. It may be. I'm gonna have to cut back some of how you work. I'm gonna have to cut back on some of your social media. It may be some things that I'm gonna have to cut back in order for you to bear much fruit. There's some prune. It's a pruning process. But whenever we go through those things, and when we end a relationship, man, it's so easy to look at our spouse and say, listen, I'm feeling all of this trouble, and it's got to be because of you, husband. It's got to be because of you, wife. And
Yeah.
little do they know,
It's all on them.
it's all on them, and it's divine. You see, once again, I said, I read where Jesus told those disciples to go to the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And see, because I understand who Jesus is when he told them to go to the other side. And so I believe in my heart that he knew that storm was coming.
Mm-hmm.
and I believe in my heart that he wanted to he was testing the character of his disciples. I believe that it was something that he was trying to build in them. Because when he told them to go to the other side, and when they got in the middle and then the storm came, I don't think it took him by surprise. I think he knew what was happening. And
So
said,
you, so you don't think the storm changed his mind?
no.
Not at all.
Like you were talking about earlier, and you put that last one you posted back up on the screen. Not the comment, but the last thing he said about the
The
this is
struggle being necessary.
yeah. See he like you said, he knew the storm was coming,
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
but this storm is getting ready to prune, getting ready to cleave, getting ready to put pressure on to cause something to grow out of that storm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh, so that storm was necessary,
Mm-hmm.
and Jesus knew it was coming. And
Mm-hmm.
it's almost like when he said go to the other side, then they saw the storm, like they wanted to bust a U-turn. No,
Yeah.
no, 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 no. I still want you to go to the other side. I hadn't changed my mind.
I ain't changed my
Right.
mind. I ain't
Yeah,
changed
because
my mind.
you can't grow without the struggle.
Man,
And
oh,
and
come
and
on.
and I've said this before, how your spouse is your mirror.
Wow.
I like that.
So when you're in a healthy relationship, you you know that this person loves you. You know this person is not going to do anything to hurt you. They want the best for you. They want you to be the best version of yourself. So when they tell you something that they might not like that you might be doing, it's up to you to say, you know what? Okay, and handle it, because your spouse wants you to be, they want the best for you, and
Absolutely.
they are the mirror. I mean, it's like you were talking about how we're always looking at the other person and seeing what the other
Mm-hmm.
person is doing that's wrong. Us looking at our spouse, and yes, we might be looking at them, seeing what they're doing is wrong. We can communicate to that. It's up to our spouse to receive that, but then it's also up to us to be able to be okay with the feedback, whatever it is that our spouse see in us. But a lot of
Absolutely.
us, we are not good with that, because it does become a struggle, and it's just, it's uncomfortable, because we don't want to hear that anything is wrong with us.
Right,
We
right.
want to be perfect. And I know one problem that I've had in the past is if someone has told me something that they did not like about me, or something that I was doing, I took it as if it was an attack on how they felt about me.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
That it wasn't necessarily something that I could correct, but I found it is something. It's just something that I might not be good at, or I need improvement in. So I think it takes a certain level of maturity to really be able to receive from the person that loves us,
Right.
to get through that.
I totally agree.
Hey,
And
Hey, Mary,
Mary.
Sister Mary.
I totally agree. And it's so tempting when someone says, every time you come, you blah, 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 blah. For you to turn around and say, oh, well, let me tell you about you. Now, and I'm not saying that isn't a great discourse at times,
Right.
but you have to at least be able to hear what was said about you to see if it's possible to make an adjustment about it. I got a friend in an area in West End, which is called 29th Street. The, uh, yeah, 29th Street. And we would crack all the time. It was back in my day. So we cracking, drinking beer, smoking weed, and all this type of stuff, whatever. but his mom.
Tiffany don't know what cracking is, but
In Atlanta they call it joning. We were talking about each other. When I started elementary, we called spot your mama. And I know one thing, spot my mama somewhere, we was finna fight. But anyway, but my buddy's mom would say this, and I heard a lot of parents didn't like people to crack, but she would say this, and it just took me by surprise when she said it. She said, so he was very, both of boys were very, very dark skinned, but the youngest one was real, real dark skinned. So we hit one of them, boy, you black and such. She said, She said, we ain't talking about nothing. Can't nobody change. Can't nobody control. Can't nobody fix. And that was powerful.
Yeah.
So I hear you, Holy Ghost. So if he or she say something to you that is something that you can fix, and don't take offense to it.
Right. Yes. That. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Go ahead. So for instance, my wife say, "Boy, you so short." I can't do nothing about that. God made it. You know what I'm saying? But if it's something else you say that I can adjust, then I can adjust it.
Right. See, I call that, Pastor. I call that make conflict your ally.
Wow.
And see, people miss it because I mean, you hit it dead on the head. When your spouse get to that point, you know, and you know, and I'm just saying she, and she's telling you about yourself. See, what we normally do is get defensive, and now you want to spit back. Okay,
that's right.
But what you should do is take your pencil and your paper and write down what she's saying.
Wow.
Because she's giving you the key. She's giving you the answer. You know, and we miss it because of selfishness. You can't talk to me like that. No, but it's so honest. You know, it's so pure, and it is things you can change. You know, so write that down and see. And now all of that. You know that before she held in, and you was wondering what was wrong and why the relationship, you know, wasn't going right. She gave you the answer. So now you know what you can work on. Now you don't have no excuse. It didn't come out the way you wanted it to come out. But if you made that conflict your ally, oh yeah, you're gonna win.
Yeah, I think sometimes we tend to tell the truth at the wrong time. You know, when we in an argument or, you know, dispute, that's when we decide to come out with, you know, what you do.
Yeah.
That person is not going to receive it at that time. But just like I said, it takes maturity for us to have a healthy, functioning relationship. If we actually sit down, I know Eric, he talks about this in his book of the power of two, and having those weekly meetings.
Okay.
Having those regular meetings, and those are the times where you can talk openly, you know, where you're not being defensive. You could say, you know, hey, honey, when you do such and such, and that person will be more receptive at that time.
And after you say such and such, say it makes me feel.
Yes, it makes me feel.
That's the way you deliver it, because then you actually I guess humanize the action.
De-escalate.
You know what I'm saying? You humanize the action to when you do this, it makes me feel. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely key, and you know, I'm glad you brought that up because, you know, that is the perfect world to sit down and have these weekly meetings.
Right.
But you know, I mean, we ain't, you know, the majority, 99.9% of us is not there. I'm just being real because, you know, I know I said it, but you know, that's in hope, you know, because, you know, I wanted that book to be more of a maintenance, you know, because I realized that, you know, we got to the point where, you know, the cars got a very expensive repair, okay, and you can't afford to repair it. You know, the engine that blew up. But if you would have just changed the oil, you
Okay.
know, you see what I'm saying? And so the book was more of a maintenance, you know, routine maintenance. And if you did that, then it's going to run forever. Okay, but most of us ain't changing the oil in our relationship. We ain't changing the spark plug. Then all of a sudden we got this big repair.
We ain't putting no gas in it.
And we ain't putting no gas in. You know, we ain't going nowhere. And then all of a sudden you come go to pastor, and now you say, fix me. And see, it's hard.
You broke down then.
You broke down. And so I'm like, no, let's what can we do to tick, tick, tick. Yeah, that motor ticket, you know, knock it. But
man up in the knocking.
but you know, but that's where we at, you know, and we have to we want to do the maintenance, but in reality, most of us live in that place where we're going to spit out those things in order, you know, and really, you know, you on one side you want to say, oh, you said it to hurt me, but I don't think they said it to hurt you. I think they saying it to, one, they want your attention, and two, they're, you know, listen, this is a result of a person that has been that's been bottling up their feelings to the point where it exploded, but it's still valuable.
Yeah.
When they say you said it's to hurt me, you got to realize they're not projecting. I can't think of the word. I'm lost for words right now, but they trying to make it bigger than what it is, or they're trying to do something to try to get you to come off of that defense mechanism. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Roll Tide fan, you know what I'm saying? And I know sometimes some of them guys we play, they wish we'd lay that defense off some, you know what I'm saying? But sometimes the defense just pour it on like that.
Right.
And going back to something we were talking about earlier, about the spouse being your mirror and the things that you say, being able to see the constructive criticism, whatever. LP made a post. It was either earlier today or last night, but it said something about, you know, he had the little man shooting the basketball, how he be doing, but it said something like, what they saying about you might be true.
Yeah, I think I remember that.
And I shot a like on it, but I don't know if he know. But when he said it put a it was one of them things I didn't stick and file. I stuck it on my shelf. You know what I'm saying? I knew that was gonna come up. So I ain't know tonight, but I knew it was gonna come up today. What they saying about you might be true. You know what I'm saying? And that's where we got to be big boy pants.
Right.
Be able to walk in that thing.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
That's good. So the question is, what love? All this stuff we talked about, and Tiffany, we said we want to have there's a conversation. We said we weren't scripting nothing out. We just wanted to have a real conversation. I think we did that. You know what I'm saying? And it was good. But what love got to do with it? What love got to do with it?
Everything.
You know, and I'll let you go first.
Let me go first?
Yeah.
Well, it definitely has everything to do with it. I think what I've learned tonight more than anything is that we just have to love. You know, love is not just an action. You know, we just have to love regardless, because that's what God has called us to. He's called us to love. So, so that's what love have to do with it. You know, that is a commandment from God for us to love as believers, and in our most intimate relationships, which is with our spouse and our kids. That's the greatest thing that we can do to illustrate that love that He has for us, is by showing love to one another.
That's good. Pastor, give it a shot. What love got to do with it?
Love got everything to do with it. And to my man out there, hey man, you stood up under God in front of many witnesses
Mm.
and told that lady out your own mouth that you were going to love her like Christ loved the church. I was sharing something maybe 2 Saturdays ago at a vision conference of a friend of mine invited my wife to be there for couples to write vision boards and stuff. And I made this statement right here. My wife, her name is Antonia, but we call her Tony. I said, it don't matter what Tony do, what Tony don't do, what Tony say, what Tony don't say. I made up my mind when I told her that day, in front of my mom, in front of my dad, in front of all those witnesses under God, to her, that I was going to love her. And I'm a man of my word. I'm going to keep that word. It ain't nothing she can do or nothing she can not do to make me change or make me do something different in that. And that's what love is. It is an action. It is a person, and that person is Jesus Christ. And Jesus Christ living in you can give you the power to do it, no matter what come, what may. If the storm come, you still can get to the other side.
Still can get to the other side. And that's good stuff.
Amen.
That's good. You know, when you know, I remember, you know, at a point in my life where I literally said, love has nothing to do with it.
Wow.
Love, you know, love has nothing to do with it. And I and you know, I can remember my state of mind, and so right now, Tiffany, I want to say love got everything to do with it, and I wholeheartly stand on that. You know, that's your foundation. You know, it was what you built was built off of that. You know, the revelation of what love is. You know, I'm totally fully persuaded. You know that love is the foundation of your relationship. You know, a great marriage, and that foundation is built to where it can weather all the storms that life brings to it. But I still have that question: what love have to do with it? And I still have that question: what do you do when you don't feel love? See. I'm gonna answer that because although I know that the love is the foundation, I also know that it's a feeling. I also know that, and I know that you can come to a point where you don't feel love anymore. Okay, I understand that. So here's the thing, guys. This is where we go. This is it. When you don't feel love, then you're gonna have to go to your commitment. You're gonna have to fall back on what you're gonna have to go back to why you started this thing in the first place. You're gonna have to go to go to a point, to the place where you're gonna it's just you and God, and you're gonna have to have that private conversation with Him, and you're gonna have to fall back in love with Him, and then you're gonna have to and that love is going it's just going to overshadow, and it's going to realign. But when you don't feel love, then you got something, man, that you know, you got something that you got a glue that can still hold relationships together. And man, that thing that it's called a commitment. It's called a covenant. And we have to get back to the point where even though I don't feel this thing, man, there's some honor in what you're doing. There's a reason why you started this thing. And see, this is what I want everybody to understand, man. You know, just because you don't feel the way you used to feel, just give it some time. Just give it some time. It'll come back. Okay, it's coming back faster.
Feelings change.
It's coming back.
Feel it coming back.
Hey, it's coming back. You know, don't worry about it. It's coming back. You know, hey, just, you know, man, just start doing some maintenance work. You know, just start doing some maintenance work, and it's coming back. You know, so that's what love got to do with it. You know what I'm saying? Love have everything to do with it, Tiffany. You know, but then when you know, so for my people that say, well, hey, but I don't feel love, to my married people, I'm not gonna let you get out that easy. Because I gotta tell you that even though you don't feel it, even though you're gonna say, you know what, I done fell out of love, man, you still got a commitment.
Wow.
Still got to come. You ain't got. I can't let you go out like that. That's
Love it's almost love is everything and nothing all at the same time.
It's everything. It's everything. But see, and the reason why I feel like nothing is because somebody is telling themselves, I have nothing.
Wow.
Right.
Somebody's doing that. Say, I told you I deal in the real world. And somebody is saying that, so I'm going ahead, and I'm like, yeah, I know what you're saying. He ain't doing this, and we ain't doing that, and she ain't doing this. We ain't got nothing. So you say, I ain't got no love. Yeah, but you made a commitment. You made a covenant. So you got to honor that. You see?
That's right.
And now, and listen, just a disclaimer. We ain't talking about nobody going hit nobody, beating up nobody, nothing. We ain't talking about all that toxicity. We ain't talking about that. Okay? So I don't want no hate mail.
Healthy. We're talking about healthy.
Because healthy relationships get that way.
That's right.
You know, and listen, Pastor, I think you was heading this way. Because you asked a question like, what, you know, people regretting. You see, you know, now I ain't talked to nobody that said, man, I made a mistake, I regret. I ain't been that fortunate. But you have. You know, so at some point they lost their way. You know what I'm saying? If somebody literally could say, man, I made a mistake, then, you know, I'm like, well, you know, I just say it like this. You know, I talked about the struggle, the endurance, and you know, it builds character and it builds endurance. But at the end of that scripture, it says, and it closes. It says, and it gives you hope.
Wow.
And hope never fails. You know what I'm saying? So we start out with struggle, but we end up in hope. You know what I'm saying? You know, but it's the process. You have to go through the process of building up your endurance and then building up your character. You know, and then when all that is done, man, you got hope. So you got to go through some things. You got to go through the cleaving process.
Yeah. This lady says some women don't think they love unless you put your hands on them. The game changed. Yeah. And that's definitely something that's not healthy. And something
We don't want
that yeah, she definitely has to work through that with a therapist to get out of that situation.
Because that's as broad as we painted love, that's not love.
No, that's not love.
That's not that.
Even though that might be what all she knows, but that's not love.
That's not love.
Yeah. Well, I have truly enjoyed this conversation tonight. We've unwrapped love and we will continue our conversations throughout the month. And Trevay is going to be coming the third Monday of this month. So y'all make sure y'all catch that. I'll be putting out some reminders about that.
Hey Tiffany, look, show me the shirt.
Show me your shirt.
Yeah. Y'all see our shirts?
Uh-oh.
Yeah. Y'all like my swag? Y'all like our swag? Yeah.
You gotta stand up too.
Well, you can see mine. Listen, I'm on a stool,
You
so
got-
when I stand up, I'm gonna get shorter. No, I'm being
yeah.
serious.
Well, Mary says she sees, so she don't need you to stand
Yeah,
up.
see, I mean, okay.
Well, y'all make sure y'all get y'all. Make sure y'all get y'all's as well. I got the link. I'll put it back out. But and you know we have our birthday celebration coming up next month on March the 9th. So y'all can get y'all shirts in time for that. And of course, that's a free event. But come on out so we can see each other and fellowship and celebrate what God is doing with Teach Me Tribe. And I also put out the registration again so we can have a good head count of because space is limited. We can't have all 300 members coming through.
Man, we
But
just get another venue. Come on now.
that's true.
We
That's
just get a
true.
bigger
But
venue.
if you know, just register so I know that you're coming.
Hey, Mary, go ahead and Tiffany gonna put the link and go ahead and order your shirt so we can
Yes.
be 20.
Gonna get yours too, Pastor Delvin. So you'll be right for the party next month.
Okay. You throw that link like you said.
I
Throw
will.
it in the
You
chat.
and your wife will be right. All right. Well, I mean that's all I have for tonight. I definitely appreciate everyone joining and everyone being here. And it's been wonderful to get with the relationship guy.
Man, got me. Man,
Tonight.
I'm ready now. I'm ready.
Let's
I'm
do it.
ready.
Let's do it.
I'm gonna get off this line. I'm gonna do another line.
Yeah, right.
I'm ready, man.
So you got your juices flowing, huh?
Yeah. Thank you. Another great. Hey man, this is episode 1 in 2024 of Eric Asked the Relationship Guy with my co-host, the one and only, the founder, the CEO, the visionary, Miss Tiffany. Thank you. Man, this is great. Man, I appreciate you. And Pastor Devin, I appreciate you coming on, man. Hey, we needed we needed that third voice in here.
Yeah. And thank everybody too in the chat who chimed in and who's been engaged. You know, Trevay and Mary and I'm sorry, I cannot Buwana, Tony, Stephanie was in the chat. It was quite a few people that chimed in tonight. I definitely appreciate it. LP, some people who are Facebook users. I'm not sure, but I definitely appreciate y'all joining in tonight. And I guess until next time.
Hey, you got to the video? You should play that video out.
I don't. You want to sing it?
No. How about no?
How about no?
Okay. All right, we gotta fire our engineer.
All right. Peace out.
Good night, everybody.
Y'all be blessed.
You too, bro.